Why are animal livers dangerous to eat? The livers of certain animals are more dangerous to eat than others. Liver is very high in vitamin A and vitamin B12. Eating liver was the first treatment ever used for treating a deficiency of extrinsic factor, now known as vitamin B12. I think it's polar bear liver that is extremely high in vitamin A, which can cause hypervitaminosis A. Hypervitaminosis A is a toxic increase in vitamin A which can cause certain dangerous symptoms like liver damage, bone damage, and blurred vision. Eating too much of any animal liver can cause hypervitaminosis A, but most people do not eat liver very often, so it isn't particularly common. According to Wikipedia, liver generally contains 813% of your daily supply of vitamin A in a single 100 grams serving. 100 grams of liver, probably pork or cow liver, also contains 1083% of your daily vitamin B12. Imagine eating only 100 grams of liver at once. I can't. The liver of pufferfish, commonly known as fugu, contains the toxic chemical tetrodotoxin, which can cause paralysis and death if eaten in sufficiently high, actually quite small, amounts. The toxin also occurs in high amounts in the fish's ovaries. Tetrodotoxin works by blocking voltage-gated sodium-ion channels in the brain and is classified as a neurotoxin. Because of this mechanism, it also can cause numbness. Ironically, the liver and ovaries of pufferfish are said to be the most tasty parts of the fish. Some people willingly eat small amounts of pufferfish liver at parties. It is said to make your lips numb and tingly, a subjectively pleasant feeling, because of the tetrodotoxin in the fish. Vitamin A is very important for your vision and a variety of other bodily functions. It is an essential part of your diet, however, as a fat-soluble vitamin, and excess of it can be toxic. Vitamin A allows to proteins rhodopsin and iodopsin to function in the eye, which are important for your vision. A deficiency of vitamin A can cause night blindness, which is difficulty seeing at night. Vitamin A deficiency is common in some parts of the world, especially some places in Southeast Asia. A genetically modified form of rice has been developed called golden rice to increase vitamin A in deficient people's diets. Vitamin B12 is an important coenzyme that helps the enzymes methylmalonyl-CoA mutase and methionine synthase function. The first enzyme is an important enzyme in the Krebs cycle in the mitochondria, while the second synthesizes the amino acid methionine and is part of the folate cycle. In the end, pork and beef liver are not particularly dangerous to eat, unless you start eating it literally every day. I can't really imagine someone doing that very often. Liver has a very strong flavor and it's not something many people are in the mood for very often. Tea is the overload of vitamin A. Of course, generally speaking, it only occurs in large amounts, or where it is especially concentrated. Since it isn't really a staple part of our diet, at least in large quantities, this is rarely documented, except in a few extreme cases. One such case occurred during an expedition Douglas Mawson, alongside Xavier Mertz and Belgrave Ninnis, mounted to map an unknown part of Antarctica. The Amundsen story is perhaps one of the nicest geological treks documented. His team were the first to reach the South Pole, but the reality is most Antarctic expeditions would and did go wrong, some worse than others. As far as eating animal livers goes, they are high in vitamins and supplements, low in calories, considered a powerhouse meat, and one of the most nutrient-dense foods available. It would be, in most dietary research, considered a very beneficial addition to human or carnivores' diets, in spite of its reputation with quite a few humans. It is well known as being high in cholesterol, which is not a concern for most people, as the latest research has overturned the decision that all cholesterol comes from outside the body instead of being a byproduct of the digestion process. There are certain members of the Earth population that need to be aware and consume smaller portions due to various conditions that may be exacerbated by liver if eaten in larger, instead of normal portions. Pregnant women must monitor the amount taken in because the high concentration of vitamin A, although linked to birth defects, is not yet concretely proven. So caution is the best position to take. People with gout will regret large portions of liver as it contains uric acid, which will aggravate their pain and other symptoms. But liver does not cause gout in the human body. The basic function of the liver is to change the toxins it collects into something that can be voided from the body. Contrary to belief in many people, the liver does not store the toxins, which invalidates some claims that organ meat is unhealthy, and they can be eaten using your own limitations due to the previously mentioned conditions. Delving further into the negative side of liver, it is important that high consumption of liver, due to its high vitamin A content, could cause hypervitaminosis A, which is a very dangerous poisoning. Supporting this statement, the Inuit tribe in Alaska, who depend on the polar bear and bearded seals to survive severe temperatures, refuse to eat those animal livers. It has been speculated that a mere 500 grams from the liver of either animal would be a toxic dose for humans. Another thing to remember, particularly in areas where creatures from the seas and ocean are a mainstay in any regular diet, is to consider the rising levels of mercury that are finding its way into and contaminating sea life. In addition, it is a well-spoken warning to the general public that people should always try to stay current on scientific research which may reveal additional contamination to, or government warnings shedding more light on the subject as to what is safe to eat, due to the high amount of pollution that is being recorded in the planet's waterways, seas and oceans.